Okay, let's learn how to allocate to reapportion the what? The resources. Last time we learned how to apportion the costs, the overhead costs. So we apportion the overhead costs into different departments, isn't it? Like different departments received the what? The costs. But this time around, what we want to learn is just how to apportion. So during apportionment, what is the reapportionment? During reapportionment, we are getting the costs that is in the service centers and take it to the production centers. The idea is that all the cost that is there in the service centers, it should ultimately find itself in the what? In the production centers. That is all what we actually want. Any question? No questions, sir. We are following, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
Yes, let me just see. Yeah, okay. The class is being recorded, yeah. So now observe, here is the way of, there is the information that we are given concerning the reapportionment that we are supposed to do, okay? Usually there are three methods of doing reapportionment. There is what we call continuous allotment. There is what is called the direct method and the elimination method. I'll do all of them. We'll do three of them, okay? We're going to do all of them. Yeah. So what can happen is that you'll understand that when you're given, let's follow this data. You are given the total overheads, right? That has already been apportioned to different departments. Department A, B, X, and what? And Y, right? The total overhead cost has already been apportioned. Now, the service department are expected to spend their time as follows. Number one, the service department is supposed to take their costs and share it in the following. Number one, Department X should give 30% to Department what? A, 50% to Department B, and 20% to Department number what? Number Y. Okay, to Department number Y. Then Department Y is supposed to share 50% of its costs to 80% of it to Department A, 10% to Department B, and the 10% to Department A. So what we are going to begin to start with, we're going to assume that there are no reciprocal services. Let's begin by that assumption. Let's see what happens. Let us assume that there are no what? Reciprocal services, which means that these institutions are not serving each other's, like these centers, the service centers. They are not, for example, Department X is not servicing Department Y, and also Department Y is not servicing Department X. Let's assume that and see what happens first. The first allocation. Okay. So how do we do the allocation? This is how it shall be. We will have the production centers and service centers. Let's have the table. The production centers. Or I should not write on top of these words. Oh, people will be confused. Like, let me not write on top of these. Let me just get a quick one. Okay, so that you are not, just a minute. I should not write on top of this. Just a minute, 67. Yeah. Okay. Share the screen also. Let me just share the screen. Where is it? Okay. You can now see the screen, isn't it? Right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. Yes. Let me start writing on the cardboard so that we can understand properly on the board. Reducing the marker. So we start with this. We have the production. We have the production center. Let's have the production center. Also have got the service centers. The service centers. So we have the bases on top and we have departments. Let's have department number A, department B, and what? Department C, department X, and department number what? Number Y, right? Then let's have the overhead costs, overhead costs here. And the overhead costs that we have. These are the departments that we have. Yeah, like this. So we have the basis of allocation, like that one. The basis and overhead costs. So the overhead cost that we have for department A, we are told that there is 10,000, 10 and 30. This one is 8970. Department X is 10,000. Department Y is 80,000. That is the total. These are the total costs that are there. We get this from the overhead costs that we have. Then this is how the departments are sharing. Okay, let's start with department number X. So department number X, we assume first that it is not sharing with any other department. That is what we have said. So which means it is just allocating to X, to what? To its total cost is going only to what? To B and to A. It is not sharing with the other service center. So the department number X, let's have department X. So the basis that they'll use 30, 50, 30, 50. That's how they're going to share. Where do we get the basis? We get the basis here. Okay, like it's here down. They're saying department number X is giving 30% to A and the 50 to what? To B. Then we assume that first it is not giving to Y. First, we make that assumption. Or then we'll relax that assumption. I just want you to understand something. Yeah. So it is giving 30 to A and 50% to B. No, nothing to A. So how do we share that now? So you can see that the total cost here is going to be 80, right? So how you'll be sharing it will be 30, 50, then the total cost will be 80. 30 plus 50 is 80. So to find the amount that is going from department X, which is 10,000, you do 30 out of what? 80 times 10,000. That will give us what goes for department number A. What goes to department number A? You can do that.
3,750.
3,750. For department number B, you say 50 out of 80 times the same 10,000. So we want to reapportion this 10,000, let it go to the departments. What do you get?
6,250.
6,250. Yes. Then to department number X, to department Y, you say, ma?
Nena soba.
Masoba, you know.
Where is the 10,000 coming from? The one we're using to multiply.
Department X. It is from department number X. Check.
Oh,
you see here.
All right. Okay.
Department number X is now, we are, by the way, we are getting the cost from the departments, from the services, the service centers. It is going to the production centers. You get it, eh? So that is the whole idea behind the reapportionment. Then we'll also do for department number Y. For department Y, what is the apportionment? Let's go back to the breakdown. We assume that department Y is not giving to X. The allocation will be 80 and 10, isn't it? 80 to A, then 10 to B, right? We assume that Y is not giving to what? To X first. That is the first assumption we made. So we are saying at number A is what? It's 80. 80 to 10, right? Which means the total will be 90, right? For department Y, you are allocating the 80,000, this one from department Y. You're getting it out of that. So do 80 over 90 times the 80,000. You get it, eh? That is what will give us department, the funds that go to the cost that goes to department number A. And how much is it?
That is 7,111.11.
Like this. Then for B, 10 out of 90 times the 80,000. What do you get as the total what? As the total cost that goes to department number B?
888.89.
So you can say 889, isn't it?
9, yeah.
Yes. So now, when you do this, it means that now the total cost from the service centers is now 0, isn't it? There is no cost here. Here it is now 0, even here it is 0. Like none of the cost is belonging to the service centers. All the cost has gone to the what? To the production centers, okay? So you can calculate again the total, the new totals that you have, right? After reapportioning, you have done what is known as reapportionment, getting the total costs, the overhead costs from the service centers and take it to the what? To the production centers. You can just add, it's just about adding, summing up everything. You can sum up for department number A. Add everything.
The total is 10,861.
I doubt. Add 10, this one, plus this one, plus that one.
Plus that one, okay. 10,000. That's 20,891.
20,891. What about for B?
That is 16,109. 909.
Okay. That is that. Okay. Is there any question? That is for the case, like in your question, they can specify that these departments are not having reciprocal services. You get it, right? Like Department A is not serving Department, what is this? Department B. This is what you do if these guys are not reciprocating, right? Very easy. Just get all the cost overhead from the service, let it go to the production departments. Okay. Now, what about the elimination method? Let's learn how to go about the elimination method. Yeah. So with the elimination method, let me just remove the numbers here because the other things will remain same. What about elimination method? Very, very important to pay attention. Okay? Because what we want you to be able to do is to write on your own that assignment without much pressure. Should not be pressured. Okay. Even in the elimination set, we begin with the overheads. The overheads are still the same. Department X is 10,000. Department B is 8,970. Department A is 10,030. Okay. So now, how do you go about elimination method? So the method works by first apportioning one of the service cost center to all other centers which make use of its services. Okay. Now, when the remaining service center costs are reapportioned, then the work that is done for other service cost centers is just ignored. You didn't hear that one. I said that for this method, it works well by first apportioning one of the service cost centers to all other centers which make use of its services. First step. Now, after that, when the remaining service center costs are reapportioned, the work done for other service cost centers is just ignored. That is about the elimination method. Okay. Let's go for department number X and see what happens. For department, we start with department number X. Department number X is allocating like what? It's giving 30% to A, 50% to B, and what? And 20% to Y. Let's go do that. Okay. So it is 20, 50, 20. It is 30. So the allocation is 30, 50, and 20, isn't it? That is the allocation. We are allocating for department number X. So we are allocating a 10,000 first. We put it in negative like this because that's the one that we are allocating. It's going. How much is going to department number what? To department A. 30% out of total 100, isn't it? 30 plus 50 plus 20 is 100. So 30 out of 100, say 30 out of 100 times 10,000. How much goes to department number A? Hello, how much is going to department A? Hello?
What's it? 3,000.
It is 3,000 that is going to department number A. What about to department B? 50%. It should be 5,000, isn't it? 50% of 10,000 is 5,000. Then
Yes.
20% of 10,000 goes to Y. What is 20% of 10,000?
That is 2,000.
So 2,000 goes to department Y. Okay. Now, check how much we have for department number Y. How much do we have for department Y? We now have 10,000, isn't it? Plus a 2,000 that has come from X. So we will reapportion a 10,000, not the 8,000, okay? From department number, what is this? Number, from department Y. Let's do what? Let's allocate it. But let's go back to the basis first, okay? How is the basis of allocation? Department number A goes how much? Goes to 80%, right?
Yes.
To department B goes 10%. To department X, there was supposed to go 10 what? 10%. But we said when you're using an elimination method, you have to ignore department number X because it has already given out. You understand, right? Do you remember that we said you have to ignore it? I read that point where I said we have to ignore it now. Department number X, it has already shared. So it will not receive. Once it has given, it should not receive. Forget about it. Okay? That is about elimination method. We have eliminated it. It's no longer there. Okay? So the apportionment will be 80 to 10, right? It will be 80 to 10. So we can do the allocation now. What is 80 out of 90? The total will be 90. 80 out of 90 times 10%. That should go for department number A. How much is it?
That's 10% of what, sir?
The 10% of 10,000.
Or 10% of 10,000.
Not the 10%. 80 out of 90 times 10,000.
Oh. That's 8,889.
8,889. Like this?
Yes, 89.
Oh, okay. 8,889. What about 4B?
Sir,
Ma?
I just wanted you to write where you had written 10%, so that I do not get confused when I'm going through the
Which one? Which one is it? Which 10%?
There you wrote there where she said 10%. Instead of writing 10, was it 90 over?
Oh, here.
80 over 90
it
times 10,000.
80 over 90 times the 10,000 from
Yes.
department Y. So here it will be 10 or 10 over 90, right? For department B. 10 over 90 times 10,000. What do you get for department B?
1,111.
Like this, eh?
Yes.
Yes. Then from here, you just tot up the costs. No need of suffering. That is when you are using elimination method, okay? The question shall guide you. It shall specify all these details. No need of suffering. You can add everything for department A and for B as well. When you are using elimination method, you have heard, once the department has already shared, should forget about it, okay? Don't allocate anything to it as long as it was the first one to give out to the other departments. What's the total on department number A?
Uh, 21,919.
21,919. What about to department B?
Mm. 16,111.
Sorry?
16,111.
You can do it again. 8,970 plus 5,000 plus C.
Sorry, that's 15,081.
15,081. Okay. 15,081. Is there any question? So when you add the total cost, the total overhead cost is still the same, but it has just been reapportioned from the service centers. Now it has gone to the what? The production centers. Okay. Any question? Okay. Let's have now the most interesting, which is the allotment method. The allotment method or the repeated method, the repeated distribution method of apportionment. Remember the first assumption that we made at first. We assumed that these services are not serving each other, isn't it? At first. But now,
Yeah.
let's relax that assumption. Let them start serving each other. Let's see what happens. Okay. That is where you apply now the repeated method or the continuous allotment method, where you keep on distributing and distributing. Okay. For this one, you have to pay attention and then you will be fine. So for department number X, again, it's still 10,000. 8,970 for B. And the 10,000 and what? 30 overhead cost. Okay. So now we start for department. These are departments here. Let's have department number X. Let it be the first one to share. How is it sharing? Let's get the ratios. It is sharing 30, 50, and 20, isn't it? Department X is 30, 50, and 20, right?
Yes, sir.
It is giving to Y. So it is 30, 50, 20. So department number X giving 10,000. Number one. So let's go about it. What do we do now? Let's share 30% of 10,000 to this department number A to be 3,000, right? Then the 10%, the 50% is 5,000. The 20% is 2,000 is going to department number what? Number department, which one is this? Y. Is that clear? Are you following? Yes, sir, we are following. So now, department number X has already shared. Let also department number Y share. How much is it allocating? 10,000, isn't it? Plus the 2,000 that has come from X. Let's share the 10,000 from department number B. How much are we sharing it? What are the, remember, this is not the elimination method where we forget about the department once it has shared. So the sharing is 80, 10, 10, right? It's 80, 10, 10 for Y, for department number Y. So it is 80, 10, 10. What is the 80% of, the 80% of what? Of 10,000? It should be 800, 8,000, right? That's the 80% of 10,000. What is 10% of 10,000? Should be 1,000. And again, here is 1,000. Is that clear? Hello?
Sir, you are too fast.
Okay, I'm slowing down.
Yes.
So, but you understood how X is shared, right? X shared the 10,000 among the three departments, department A, B, and Y. After we were done with X, we go for Y. Department Y is no longer having 8,000. It is now having 10,000 because it has received the 2,000 from X. So we are going to share the 80,000 from department Y among the three departments, A, B, and X. What is the ratio? This is the ratio, 80, 10, 10, okay? So do 80% of what? Of 10,000 is 8,000 going to A, 1,000 going to B, and 1,000 going to X. Is that clear now?
Yes, sir.
Then from there, you can, we have what? From department X now, department Y as it stands, it has 0, isn't it? It has 0, department Y. But department X has 1,000, right? Right now.
Yes, sir.
So we have to share again the 1,000 from department X. Get it, eh? Share the 1,000 from department X. So we are sharing the 1,000 from department X. What are the ratios? The ratios are still the same, right? It's still 30, 50, and 20. What is 30% of 1,000? 300, yeah? What is the 50% of 1,000? It should be 500 here. 20% of 1,200 should go to department number Y. Is that clear? Have you seen that now department number Y, X had 1,000, it has shared it among these other departments again, okay? Once that is done now, if you check again, department number Y now has 0 cost, isn't it? There is 0 costs on department X, but department Y has 200 kwacha. It has to share the 200 among other departments. Now department Y. Department Y shares in the ratio of 80, 10, 10. That's what we have gotten from the table. So we are sharing the 200 kwacha. Are you following that? We are keeping on sharing and sharing, and the amount is reducing until we remain with nothing, okay? So the 200 is going, what is 80% of 200? That should go to Department A. 80% of 200?
It's 160.
160. What is the 10% of 200? It should go to B. 10% should be 20, right?
20, yes.
Also to B, to X, 20. Have you seen now that department number Y has 0 cost, right? Department Y has 0 cost. But department X has a 20 kwacha. It's a service center. It has a 20 kwacha. This 20 kwacha should not remain in the service center. We want all the costs to go to the production department. So we will reallocate and reapportion the 20 for X. In the ratio, it's still 30, 50 and what? And 20, we are reallocating the 20. What is 30% of 20?
6.
6 kwacha.
Yes.
What is 50% of 20? It should be 10, right?
Yes.
And what is the 20% of 20? That should go to department Y.
That is 4.
4 kwacha. Have you seen now that department number X has 0 cost, right? But department Y has a 4 kwacha. This 4 kwacha should not remain in the department. It has to be reallocated to department. So this is department Y. The ratio for department number Y is 80, 10, 10, right?
Yes, sir.
So we are allocating the 4 kwacha. What is the 80% of 4 kwacha? This is becoming so negri, so small. Ben, what is the 80% of 4 kwacha?
2.2.
You've seen, ka? So 2.2, let's leave it as 2.
3.2.
Or 3.2, let's leave it as 3. What about the 10% of 4 kwacha? It's 1. How much is it? 10% of 4 kwacha.
That is 0.4.
0.4.
Yes.
0.4 and 0.4. You understand? Now you can, how can you do the 80% of 0.4? You see, it can keep on until it reduces. So ideally, once it reaches on numbers less than 10, you can just leave it there. You get it, right? So the idea behind the continuous or repeated distribution is that you can keep on distributing and distributing until you have the numbers, the very, very small numbers, until you can no longer distribute. You get it, right? That is for the continuous allotment. You can see this form where it's not even, it's so small, like 40 what? This is 40 ngwe. You know, it's a very small amount of money, really. So you've seen that all the costs from the service centers has gone back to the what? To the production center. That is the whole idea behind what? Behind reapportioning. Any question?
So